Oh no. And this can end peacefully. Oh. Yeah. That's why. I didn't even think about that one. Man, fuck this place. Fuck this whole place. It wasn't a good thing that happened. But I'm sure not gonna be sad they didn't get to their destination. Like they were. Welp. Well, I mean, you led your love confession with telling us how you committed mass murder, so I mean, you know. I've seen worse, though. I mean, I've seen worse, you know? I'm not gonna tell anyone how to feel about hyun-ae or anything, especially... I mean, this is one of those games where the moral ambiguity is there, moral complexity is there, and you make up your own decision about it, but... I mean, come on. Yeah, let's hold off on the whole marriage thing, you know? I mean... Also, I'm not even sure if it's legal in the future. Probably is. hyun-ae never asked, you know that? Mute asked, like, right away. hyun-ae never asked us. And that's one of the points of the story, yeah. Yep. We figured out the truth, we've got all the logs secured. And we'll be taking something along extra. With yet another judicious save. I'm save paranoid. I used all 4 saves, but like... I am so completely done. The fucking Mugenwa, whatever the fuck it's called. It's dead, it's a memory, it's... You know, I gotta tell you, without the AI characters, I don't think I could get through this game, and I don't think I would like it nearly as much, because, like, it's not just the wanting the AI waifu thing. Oh, here I am, trying to rescue Mute. Especially because I'm, like, unable to copy core into itself. I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, okay... I thought Well, basically, hyun-ae's route was complete now, sort of, so she's ready to download now. So we get Mute, we show her the files, we hash it out with her, we finish her character arc, and then get her to come along, and then we've rescued both, and then we win forever. And then we leave this stupid fucking piece of shit, broke down, horrible memory ship. We deliver the historical files to the historical society that hired us in the first place. They can be archived alongside other great disasters in history, and then that's an end to it. That's not how it goes. No AI personalities enabled. AI personality. No AIs available. Yeah, Mute really just broke. She broke in the reactor disaster, and it never really told us. This is the one thing I'm a little upset with. In terms of the game design, I'd say, because, yeah, it's hyun-ae. We're with hyun-ae, and I'm really happy that we can give a happy ending to this story, or at least a hopeful, a note of hope to take her away from this place and the memories and the... But at the same time, the way it's done, I actually end up fixating on this, but I have no honest idea how to fix it, so I just command line a whole ton. And then, I mean... No. Do not ever disable. I pour through it over and over again. This is familiar. But there's nowhere we can gain enough savings to bring another Quan line, and that wouldn't even matter anyway because Mute is broken. And I don't know exactly. Well, they did say heat was damaging the AI systems, which is... Her character arc didn't really get an ending to it. There's more to come though. Probably seen, I don't know, comments or whatever about multiple endings, or you know already, but the ending where hyun-ae falls in love with you is one of the endings. Probably my favorite of the actual legit endings. There's also one ending that you literally cannot get except by exploiting knowledge of the game and going through a second time. Or basically it's an impossible ending to get the first time through. Basically, unless you played with a guide. But I don't really believe in that for the first playthroughs. Yeah? I just... Nope. Nothing's gonna make it better. Which kinda, I thought, it kinda left me with a sour note that I couldn't do this. Which is weird, because that's not really how the ending should go if you're going for the hopeful ending. And especially in my live com, I was just... no clue what to do. And so download ends the session and bring hyun-ae along, which is still this is my favorite of basically the canon endings. I mean, we finally get the hell off this ship. We bring her along. Take like 4 days to download the logs, and we're away. And thank you to Christine Love for making this game. It's a visual novel that's thought-provoking. I've shared my thoughts a couple times on it already, but really, I really like this. I'm glad I got my eye caught, basically, on the sequel. And I got this game too. It was like $10 each. They were on sale at some point, but it's $10 each. And I'd say about 4 hours. Of course, that's with me being slow and taking time to enjoy the daisies, but I only got about 80% of the content. There's some documents that I just didn't bother, some tangent. Like, I eventually just, I'm like, I'm kind of done with this place. This is not the ending though, because like I said, there's multiple endings. I'm not going to show every ending. And now that, with the wisdom of post-commentary, I'm going to tell you it's because I want you to get the game and see them for yourself. and support the developer. But it's really just because I didn't feel like doing them, and I didn't feel like harshing my buzz with like the Forever Alone ending, basically. Not happening. Basically, this is my favorite canon one. And then, because I'm like, the only reason I knew it was possible to rescue both AIs is because there's an achievement for doing it. So it's kind of an interface spoiler. So I'm like, okay, how the hell do you do that? And so I literally end up looking it up, like online. Catchy. See you next mission. Yep. Get a lot of our achievements. And of course we check out, well, you see the endings right there. I mean it tells you after you get the first one. You see there's concept art, there's, bonus content. There's not a ton of bonus content, but any of that is okay. Yeah, that's the harem ending. Digital AI waifu harem. The achievement calls it impossible in the sequel. Because it is impossible to do, but I mean, I'm gonna do it. Ghetto computer. Yeah, just going through the concept art of... Oh, that's adorable. Mado. All the different detective suits. I think blue detective suit would have been too Naruto, even for... I don't know, I just wasn't a fan of the detective or the... I just thought her default outfit looked the best. It looked kind of future-y, kind of stylish. And this allows you to review the documents. I mean later, like everything you've uncovered you can look at later. Which will actually come in play for getting the final ending, so like... This isn't really the end so much as... Well, I mean right now I was trying to sum up, give my final thoughts about the game, which are very, very positive. There'll be time for that at the end, but basically... As a writer, I can appreciate the moral complexity, the depth of the writing. All the characters feel like human beings in some way or another. This is a chillingly realistic story about how you aren't considered fully human. And not just that, but to wake up in this time and to have all this happen to you and finally be driven to the point where you snap and you commit an unspeakable atrocity and thousands of people die by your hands. Because the situation had just gotten to that point where you've already taken away hope for the future and all those things we talk about in sci-fi, and then the one little thing that brings it back, and you realize something that you've been suppressing all that time, and you get angry about it. I was worried I wasn't going to have enough to talk about. And in fact, I did some editing shenanigans, so I shouldn't have kept talking about this, but I'll put it back in. We'll do it live. I'll write it. We'll do it live. Fucking things suck. Okay. Yeah, Bill O'Reilly joke in your Analogue a Hate Story LP. That's what you come to me for, everybody. It's a thought-provoking game. It's a thought-provoking game, and it definitely benefits from some hindsight, some analysis, some time to think. I mean, obviously, this is another session, so I introduce myself. Again, no audio. I actually looked up how to do it, and the method is... I mean, obviously, it's one of those where it was staring you in the face the whole time. If you know certain things. So yes, there's a way to rescue both AIs, and it wouldn't sit right with me if we didn't do it. And there's one thing we need to do specifically before we jump back to a save. We need to go to before the reactor disaster happened, which basically locks us in, and it locks Mute out, is the more important thing. Specifically, we need to take advantage of the fact that we can see the messages. And I also think this is when review the historical note by the author, just out of curiosity of what... At some point, yeah. A note from the author about how about how chillingly realistic it is, because this is based on a historical period. One of the most brutally oppressive eras for women in Korean history. Highly regressive social program. Incredibly stratified, stagnant, oppressive exaggeration of traditional Confucian ideals. Yeah. Not exaggerations, they're often understatements. Yeah? I didn't look at the historical references all that much, because, although you're welcome to, but, okay, the point is, we need 2 specific documents. We need to look and find their document code, basically, which is that thing in the upper right. Each document has a thing, and you can look up documents by their code, and the thing is, you could even do that before an AI shows you the document. Like, before the storyline reveals that it exists, if you know the document code, you can look it up. Now you see where I'm going with this? So I actually took, on a sheet of paper, wrote down 7 EUX25. That's one of those. And yes, we're going to show it to Mute before we've been shown it. Like, we're going to go back to when Mute was active, and we're going to do what I said I wanted to do, which is we're going to show Mute these documents. And that's how it goes. And specifically, the 2 are, obviously, Forever Silence is the one, and the other one is I'm gonna kill them all, basically. And it's one of those things where it's like, in the actual game world, your character would not know how to do this, and it doesn't make any sense. And the game even kind of gives you the gears in like a teasing way about, fuck that. We're gonna beat the no-win scenario. We're gonna be James T. Kirk. I mean, there's probably other documents you can show too for 100% completionism, but I also take note of 6 EUY22. I actually going through this even a second time on commentary. I'm ended up getting teared up a little bit. This is just, man, I'm so beyond done with this shit. That's the thing. It's like leaving anyone here. It's not just there's nobody around, but you're here with all the memories and all the reminders of what was once there and what happened. And so now basically we load, and I don't remember exactly, but I'm like, I'm just gonna load the last one I see with Mute in it. Which is before you can even ask me the question, as you can see. Search documents. And I decide to go in the order. I'll show her, I'll kill them all, followed by Forever Silenced. Because that's the order I saw the guy do it, so I figured might as well. And we go right to showing Mute this, and basically breaking the sequence. So you've seen it all for yourself. In her own words. She killed everyone. Yep. Mute was not exaggerating. Thousands of perfect strangers. That's sociopathic. It's appalling. And that's the decision point. And honestly, I do. I honestly do. Everybody in this situation ended up being a victim. That's the problem. I think that's her point. Yeah, after that we've got some things to discuss. And she opens up 3 of the log files taken by her on the final... basically during the disaster. Specifically Block 8. Oh, excuse me. Midday report. Market open today at 9 o'clock. It's gonna be a dull day. Maintenance mode enabled, now performing emergency log recordings. Life support manually deactivated by admin. Yeah. For what? Took once again the space douchebag option. No, no. We're gonna take this one kind of serious. And then you get the explicit Phoenix Wright. Where's your last piece of evidence? And well, it's pretty clear what we're gonna bust out at this point. Yeah, more happiness from the colony ship, and then transcribing of security camera footage. Locked out of his own storage shed. Thousands of people suffocating to death. Yeah. Don't know what I can add further to it that I haven't already said. And now we present our final document. The reason she never said a word about anything. What the fuck did I just... Yeah, I'm pretty convinced. Other logs corroborate that it happened too. Yeah. Only one way to find out. We talked. I don't believe in the no-win scenario. Yep. Did you yes, I did. And I'd do it again. It was in the service of a good cause. And not just... Well... if I have to, I mean, you know... The thing is, this ending is explicitly not canon, but it's my personal canon. Because this is the only way to save both of them. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Just a strictly charitable arrangement. Look who's... never mind, okay. And there we go. Let's transport to civilization. And there we go. A complete victory, and all I had to do was cheat. I could live with it, though. This game is really about the moral complexity of cheating to accomplish the greater good. Or, yeah, we're completely fucking done with this. Like, there's more documents to uncover, but it's like... I refer to this in one of the video descriptions. The story of this ship is like an onion. The more you peel, the more you want to cry. And that's it. Without the AIs, this would just be a bitter, hopeless slog. Followed at the end by mass murder. And that's it. The author really nailed the whole thing. It's time we're all going together. Can you imagine waiting 4 days for a download? I'm an impatient person, but whatever. Oh yeah, and as the final reward for our victory, you get the 8-bit version of the theme for the game. Dude. I love the music for this game. It was very well done. And the art, you know, people rag on the art, but you know what? It was like a couple people max doing all the assets for this game. You know, it's fine. I think they look fine. I certainly couldn't draw like that, and I've tried. Yeah, this is where I give my final thoughts, everybody, because this is the end. This is the canon ending. This is what I'm bringing to the next game, if I can. I mean, there's an achievement for bringing your possible digital AI waifu harem into the next game. But yes, this isn't the end of the story, and that's a very good thing. Final thoughts. Get this game if you haven't already. Just to support the developers. See the other endings if you want. There's a mute ending, there's friendship with hyun-ae ending, and there's a forever alone, you leave alone ending. In addition to the two that have just been shown here that visual novel, but it takes the interactive aspects of a game and it makes it more than just a visual novel, and it skillfully uses the limited methods of input, like by making you intentionally unable to talk to the AIs, which introduces some issues. and simplifies game development quite a bit. And the command lining stuff, I actually thought that added a bit of its own to the game to have that stuff there. And it breaks the video game tradition where if this were another game, we'd have to go between decks to get logs and fight waves of like alien bugs that had infested the ship, or hyun-ae would have been the villain. Or something like that, but we got something to make you think. And something to make you feel. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Yeah, that'll about do it for me. See you at Hate Plus, everybody, and all the other LPs. And thank you for watching. I'm with Black Luna. And I'll see you next time. Do 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 do.